We covered that last week, and I'm going to be covering more of it next week, so we got it surrounded.
In an hour, you're going to do a promo for the Drift, right?
Yeah, I always will. I always mention you guys.
Okay.
I say Ed, that guy that was on before me.
Notre Dame. So, I suppose, are we done with this topic? Anybody else got any more insight?
What I'd like to say is that if everybody continues to go back to the past of all the slaughters that took place hundreds of years ago, nobody's ever going to get over anything. The Armenians got a beef, the Muslims got a beef, the Christians everybody's got a beef. Let's move on till tomorrow.
Let's empty out every museum in the world, because each one will represent a society that had something bad in their past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't want to be like the Taliban that was blowing up Buddhas because
they wanted.
I mean, I'm of two minds about that. I don't like Buddhas in my house, but if they want to be on the side of a wall and somebody put them up there, they have an archaeological interest, I'm not worshiping
Muslim
it.
Brotherhood wanted to destroy the pyramids, the museum in Cairo. They wanted to get rid of all this history. They did it in Iran. They did it in Iraq. Destroyed it because of religious bias, and they're destroying art. They're destroying history. How else are we going to understand the history of these people except by looking at their past? And if you destroy it all, we have nothing left.
Right, exactly.
And the parallel here in the United States is the Democrats or the kids who run around destroying the Confederate monuments.
Well, look, we have universities tearing down statues of Christopher Columbus. When you and I were in school, and you too, when we were growing up in school, Christopher Columbus was a sign of, hey.
He came to visit our room and tell us all about it.
Oh, did he? Yeah. No, we looked at Christopher Columbus as a way to challenge us to go out and go beyond what we know, and to become explorers of life. And this is what he said. Now, yes, Christopher Columbus did some bad things, but let's not just judge everything that he did based on the bad he did. He did some good, too. Every one of us has bad in our life. And if we're only going to be judged by what we did wrong, we'll never appreciate when somebody does something right. We can't.
And even if you have a beef against Christopher Columbus, you don't change it to Indigenous Peoples Day.
Let's face it. He crossed the Atlantic, 3 times?
Yeah.
He got lost all 3 times. He wasn't a great sailor.
No, he kept bumping into Central America,
Yeah.
He was trying to get to India.
But he thought he was in India.
Yeah, well, he kept bumping into it like a
Like I said, he got lost.
Oh, this place again?
4.
4? I think so. 4, yeah. So he wasn't a great navigator.
Vespucci managed to get America named after himself. That's what I don't understand. That guy's got a good marketer.
He married well.
Yeah, I suppose so.
He married into the Medea family.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's.
But back to I want to say,
I'm an archaeologist.
Notre Dame.
I'm an archaeologist, and I love to dig up history, not to destroy it, but to preserve it and learn from it. Notre Dame is a beautiful piece of architecture. It's a beautiful piece of art. It's something to be appreciated for no other reason than that. And
for France,
I think we have to be sorry.
Treasure.
Yeah. We have to be sorry when a world treasure like that is destroyed or even damaged. It's going to take years and years and decades to get that back in shape.
Well, and remember that building was built as an edifice towards the glory of God. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you cannot appreciate it for anything other than the fact that it elevates faith.
Yes, exactly. And the interest, what?
Nothing. I just love it when Gary says stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. What kind of converted to me? I like what you said about everybody has a flaw, which basically boils down to nobody's good enough to get into heaven because they got something wrong with them.
Yeah. That's why we needed the resurrection, the death on the cross.
Yeah, that's why somebody had to die yesterday. Unless you
he didn't die yesterday. We recognize and
celebrate
remember
his death.
Right.
Yes, and then why we will celebrate his resurrection tomorrow because he offers us life with him.
Yeah.
I got that part right?
You did.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
You did.
Well,
you're a regular theologian now.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to Notre Dame. My goodness. Well, I was an assistant pastor at one point.
Assistant.
Yes,
now
assistant.
Elevated.
Yes. So let's see now.
And then the rest of his congregation moved to South America.
I was an altar boy. Read from. I was a staunch Catholic too.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame. So it's a national treasure, and Macron has promised to rebuild it. Money's flowing in everywhere. And what's the reaction of the man on the street in Paris?
Mad because the money is going towards
that money.
I want that money. Like, it's theirs. They deserve it. No, they don't. People who love that decided they wanted to put their money into rebuilding it, and they have that right.
I think the assumption was that there was going to be federal funds because all the churches are owned by the government. Just like in Germany, all the churches are owned by the government. And the priests in Germany are all paid from government treasury. And I believe it's the same thing in France also. So they nationalized the religion.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's
not the federal money. And it's when these billionaires were throwing in within minutes after it started. 2 billionaires kicked in $300 million.
Yeah, and the GoFundMe.
And then now other people are kicking in, and these people are getting mad that these people are rich enough to throw money in that, and they feel like they deserve it. And this is the mindset. France is a socialist country, and therefore they're saying, no, they shouldn't be having this money to give. That should be going to the whole society.
I hope they don't use union wages.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Hope they don't use union wages to
prevailing wage, yeah.
But, yeah, it's... No, we almost lost, and great damage has done to that building, and it is sad.
It's a symbol.
I would be sad. Imagine this. Now, Ken was, brought through religious. If a piece of art like the Mona Lisa was destroyed, or look at the crying of all the art that was destroyed in World War II, it had no religious connotation. Take it, just accept this beautiful architecture for what it is. Beautiful architecture that has been destroyed and can't be, it's going to be repaired, but it's going to be fixed, but it's not going to be...
800-year-old timbers that
but not
52
exactly.
acres, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of what the spire is going to look like when the modernists get done with it, Stainless steel girders, and I don't...
Mirrored lights.
Oh, my goodness,
yeah. And the gargoyles will be Barbie dolls, and who knows?
You can't have gargoyles. Can have transgendered gargoyles. Yes.
It's. I think when we lose great art like this in the world, that this is something for the world to be upset about.
And there's that Hoffman shaking his head in the window. You guys know nothing about art.
Hey, I know what I like.
Yeah.
And when I saw that picture of those dogs playing poker, I fell in love.
On velour. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's art.
Yes. Which brings up the point. There was a series called Civilization on PBS, and Kenneth Clark hosted it. And it opened up with, it was all about civilization. It opens up, and he's looking at the camera, and he's saying, I can't define civilization. I've tried. I can't come up with a definition of civilization, but I know it when I see it. And over his shoulder, in camera view, was Notre Dame. And he turned around and pointed to it and said, and that's it.
True enough.
You take a look at it and you sit there and you say, mankind was here because this exists. Whether it be Notre Dame or a piece of pot you dig up in the dirt. You say mankind was here because this exists. And that's how you know there was some civilization there. Is by the marks that man leaves behind.
Yeah,
even if it dates back 200,000 years.
Yeah.
And it was built as a monument.
Except the world isn't 200,000 years old, so it can't date back that far. But if it did, that'd be cool, because it'd be a time traveler.
Well, we've got 30 seconds left, so let's get Joe from Wyandotte on in 30... No, Joe, we're going to hold you over until after the break.
I was going to say he can't talk in 20 seconds.
I wanted to see it happen. All right, well, let's see now. Anybody know how to...
I'm glad you got in the death, burial, and resurrection in the first half hour. Christ died for our sins. We are all sinners, as we said.
Yep.
And we all fall short of the glory of God. And therefore, since we cannot, not on our own merits, enter into heaven, we need Christ's death to pay and atone for our sins.
Now, that promo I'm good with. I'm down with that promo. That's good, yeah. So we've got, what, 20 seconds left?
Well, then let me finish. And then 3 days later, after he was buried, he arose. And we know he arose, and we know it's special because he then walked 7 miles to Emmaus.
There you go. So who knows the name of the actor Lawton? Thank you, Charles Lawton.
Sure.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm sorry.
Let's have a contest. Ask us if we know, and then answer before we even have the question.
Yeah, well, that's it. Hey, folks, come on back after the break. We guarantee you a much better show. Come on back. The bells. The number's 734-842-1600.
822-1600.
Thank you, Rick.
people are always on the move, driving to work, running errands. How do they keep up with the latest in political talk? They listen to Wham Talk 1600 just like you. If you're a business owner, your message can reach these people wherever their travels may take them. People tune to Wham Radio for the latest issues, discussed by hosts like Steve Gruber, Theron X, and Dana Lash. Call 734-971-1600 today. 1600 AM, 92.7 FM. Wham Radio. We are American made.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. House Democrats demanding the release of the complete Mueller report. This GOP congressman wishes his colleagues would focus on other things.
I don't think they're going to stop, which is unfortunate for the country. What we need to do is move on and address the immigration issue and a bunch of other issues. And frankly, when it comes to this Russia issue, what we need to do is find out how it started in the first place.
Ohio's Jim Jordan. 20 years to the day, the people of Littleton, Colorado are pausing to honor the lives lost in one of the nation's worst school shootings.
Remember, reflect, recommit. That's the theme of today's service here at Clement Park, which abuts Columbine High School. Later today, there will be an invite-only memorial service for the victims, their families, and survivors. 20 years ago today, 12 high school students and one of their teachers, Dave Sanders, were killed by two classmates who ultimately ended the massacre by taking their own lives in the campus library.
Fox's Alicia Acuna. This is Fox News.
Experience and quality. These are two important words when it comes to auto body repairs. The last thing you need is more stress. That's why City Body on East Cross Street in Ypsilanti's historic Depot Town offers the finest quality collision repair service available. And they guarantee their work in writing. City Body can accommodate any collision or glass replacement need. As Ypsilanti's oldest and most recognized repair shop, City Body wants each customer's visit to be a positive experience, and they work diligently towards that goal. Customer services include free loaner cars for qualifying customers, rental cars, hassle-free insurance claims, drive-in estimating with estimates given in 30 minutes, and even towing if your car is undrivable. City Body, 20 East Cross Street in Ypsilanti's Depot Town, and open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 734-482-4737 or visit citybody.com.
Your bridge to recovery and wellness is WellBridge. WellBridge is redefining the rehabilitation and nursing care experience with the most amazing care facilities you've ever seen. All WellBridge locations offer a resort-like atmosphere, and their driving goal is to provide each guest with an epic experience. Here's former patient Evelyn Danielson from Brighton.
It was excellent. It wasn't only just the physical part of it, doing your exercises with them. It was the RNs, even down to the kitchen people that came in and said, "What can we fix you? What do you like? We'll try to do it for you." And everything with a smile. I couldn't get over. I would heartily recommend WellBridge.
For rehabilitation and nursing care, ask for something epic. Ask for WellBridge. In Brighton, Fenton, Novi, and Pinckney. Now looking for talented nurses and certified nurse assistants to join their growing team, WellBridge invites everyone to learn more about them at thewellbridgegroup.com. WellBridge, your bridge to recovery and wellness starts here.
Alive and I've forgiven. Heaven's gates are open wide. He's alive. He's alive. He's alive and I've forgiven. Heaven's gates are open wide. He's alive.
Alrighty then. Once again, welcome back to the Drift Radio Show. I'm your host, Ed Bonderenka. Gary Wellens is off, so we found the best Gary we could get to replace him. Is Gary Frank. You may know him as Gary from Hamtramck. We've given away his
Hazel Park.
Oh, man, I need my medication. Hold on a second. Let me take a sip of medication here. That's better. So we are the Drift Radio Show. Did I get my name properly?
I think so.
Okay,
Ed
good.
Ypsilanti Ed, is that?
Yes, yes, Ed from Ipsy, yes. And we are sponsored by the Current newspaper. It's where you go for the news
You need to know.
the place you need, the stuff you need to buy. So actually, the news you need to know.